All right, we are rolling, my friend. I got my co-host today, Robert Benenati.
Yes, sir.
All right, so me and my crazy titles, and I know he fits perfectly under this. I'm going to call it, if you want to buy more clothing and accessories, stop buying clothing and accessories. So let me describe. I see this with my daughters, I guess you could call them my stepkids, and a lot of younger people that they want to expand on their wardrobe or they need certain pieces in their life that they don't have. And one of the reasons being is because they're spending a lot of money on things in the wardrobe department, I guess you could say, and accessories, spending a lot of money. So I'll just use for an example, like they have a bunch of gym shoes. This goes for my daughter and my stepson, I guess. They have many, many pairs of gym shoes, but they have very few dress shoes, or any for that matter. Same with, I was just telling Robert, for instance, say they have a bunch of hoodies, a bunch of sportswear, and then they have to go to a doing. My daughter doesn't even have a dress. My stepson, I think he has clothes now, but before he didn't even have a sport coat. And when you talk to them, they do, I think, a lot of times want to expand. And I'm all about quality, not quantity. But a lot of people, again, when it comes to the wardrobe, you have to understand you're spending too much money on certain pieces. And that's what I want to get into with Robert, because he's pretty savvy when it comes to this shit. And I can kind of tell by the way he dresses, he has great pieces, especially with accessories. But he knows where to spend his money on his wardrobe to fulfill his needs. Wouldn't you say?
Yes. Now, after several years of, spending money the wrong way, I'm guilty of it. But, you become wise as you get older. And I would say in the last 10 years, maybe.
Right.
10, 15 years, I became savvy on, I think not savvy, but conscious of what I was purchasing.
When you say that, you mean brand-wise too, correct?
Both, yes.
Yes.
So
okay.
I'm not against high-end brands, and I like them, and the quality obviously is there, right?
Sure.
But am I going to spend on a brand piece just because it's a brand, or am I going to use it? Because I won't buy something super expensive if I'm not really going to give it its use.
Right. And a use as in using it more than once or twice. It's
correct.
Right. You're not going to go out and spend $5,000 on a tailor-made suit. Just saying.
No, probably not.
Right.
And I have spent good money on tailored suits, and
right.
I have. But I'd rather buy, believe it or not, from Zara, right?
Okay, because you have that body frame that fits you.
Yeah, it fits me.
Right.
So I'm lucky for that.
Sure.
But I'd rather buy something and then 2 years later, get rid of it or just give it away to someone that might need it, right?
Yes.
I'm done with it, but I only spend, I don't know, probably between top and, the jacket and the pants, maybe $200. Right?
Right.
When a tailored suit,
yeah,
I've spent $1,500 on it.
Pants, shirts,
right?
Anything.
Just a jacket and pants, right?
Yep.
But it's tailored fit to me. Will I give it away? Probably not. Am I using it as often as I should? No, I probably have used more the Zara suits than I have the tailor-made one.
Right.
Same thing with watches. Now, yes, I could have a good watch and $2,000, $5,000 watch, but I also have, and I love watches. I have, $70, $80 watches, which are classy and they look apart.
Right.
Right. But if it breaks, scratches,
right, you don't have the fear of
no.
And a lot of people don't wear things because they're fearful of what's going to happen, which is kind of ironic, right? We buy certain pieces, clothing and accessories.
Right. Now you don't wear it because you're afraid of
damaging
it. So
absolutely.
Then
what's the sense?
Why'd you get it in the first place?
Yeah, and I always talk about with clothes, they're disposable. I don't care who the hell you are. Don't get me wrong. There are certain pieces that you may have in your closet. For instance, I have a Gucci white vintage out of Beverly Hills. My father actually gave me. That was his, and it's dope as hell. And, there are certain pieces like that are going to hold value. But for the most part, a lot of people, especially young people, you're going to most likely gain and lose weight a lot of times. Maybe not, but a lot of you are. Also, when you buy clothes, what you like now, you may not like in the future. I talk about it all the time. You may like a certain look now. I don't care if you're a skater, I'll just use that for an example. You think you're going to be wearing skater wear for the rest of your life, and then 2 years, down the road, all of a sudden you're like, I like this style. When you invest a lot of money in a lot of clothes that are just very specific for you right now, it can be expensive, and I think it can actually hold you back to a certain degree because, for one, you want to have some money just in case a certain type of occasion comes up. And you may change. Say you may move to a different city, state, country. You may have to change your wardrobe. So if you're living in Florida, like me and Robert, and say you move to the East Coast, New York, Chicago, all of a sudden, you don't have a wardrobe. And you don't have any money to build on this wardrobe. So, you've come from New York to Florida. It's easier to go from cold to hot than hot to cold.
Correct.
I always say.
You need a lot more wardrobe. Going to the colder areas. For me, everything on clothing was more about fit than brand. I mean, me, I wear a lot of, jeans maybe and plain T-shirts with no branding, just V-neck T-shirts. I feel comfortable.
Me too.
I like good dress shirts, right, because of the quality. But I know I only need maybe 2 white, 2 black, and, maybe a blue. And I can get away with that for maybe even a full year of wearing it over and over again,
Sure.
Because you mix and match. But for me, it was always about fitting. If it could be in something very inexpensive, or let's even, I don't like the word, but something cheap.
Yeah.
But if it fits,
It's all about the fit.
it looks great.
I don't care if I put you in Gucci in a shirt that doesn't fit, or if I put you in a shirt from from Marshalls, I should say, or Ross, and I had it fitted. It's going to look a lot better than most likely than the Gucci. So Robert's kind of, I would classify him more European, wouldn't you? Kind of your fashion sense.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you kind of go that route? Mm-hmm. You kind of look European, and I think you like to look that way. What was interesting is when you go to Italy, and he's from Argentina, is some seem to be very obsessed with brands, especially American brands. And a lot of Americans are obsessed with European brands, right? They kind of flip-flop. What I like now, because I used to like a lot of brands, and I still do. I actually went to the dry cleaner yesterday, and I said, man, I'm missing shirts. Who the hell knows? After Corona, I went in and asked her. She had a shirt, one of my shirts, she forgot to give me 3 years ago, and it's a turtleneck white Lacoste. I'm like, this is awesome. I must have, I forgot I had it there. I must have purchased it in Canada or something. But what was I going to say with this? What was I going to say? What the hell was I going to say?
The white Lacoste.
Oh, yeah, brands. I'm sorry about that. So, yeah, the brand. So I used to love Lacoste, okay, for many, many years. Now, for the most part, not knowing what I'm wearing, I get more people asking me what I wear compared to before, when I was always saying wearing a Prada, a Gucci, or an Armani, or when I was younger, I should say, because when I got heavy, I had to have my clothes kind of tailor-made in Vegas, a lot of them. But and Robert's kind of like this too, and sometimes I think we get caught up with a certain brand, and that's part of our identity, which I understand that. But you might consider not going with any brand, because I think sometimes it kind of opens your eyes to say, hey, if I just like Lacoste, I like this style shirt, but hey, let me go try, I'll just say Ralph Lauren. Say I'm going to try a Michael Kors shirt. Let me try a sports shirt from Zegna, Hugo Boss. Like, I'm just saying, trying different things too, that maybe it's not so, I guess, like a Zegna's like that a lot of times compared to Versace. You see a Versace, you know it's a Versace, most likely.
Yeah,
right?
You
can tell. Zegna, you don't know what that is a lot of times. And my point being is that's kind of how you dress to a certain degree. I don't always know the brand you're wearing, which I kind of like. Not where if you're always wearing something, you're always like, every time I see you, you're in a polo shirt. Every time I see you, you're in a Tommy Bahama shirt. Every time I see you, you're in a whatever.
Yeah, you can tell right away. Yeah, I don't like brand showcasing,
Dripping or whatever the hell they call that.
Yeah.
Me either. But you do like it with accessories, especially watches.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting, right?
Yeah.
So,
and for example, one thing I would spend good money on now, as I get older, is shoes.
Yeah, it's about the quality. I got
I'm
a video coming out on those. Yeah.
Okay, I'm on my feet all day. I'm walking around. They have to be comfortable.
You want them to be stylized and comfortable shoes, I tell people. And it's not about quantity again. Unless you can afford it, it's about quality.
Yeah. All you need is what? 2 brown, 2 black, and then the rest are,
Whatever the hell you want to do.
flip-flops here in Florida and some, running sneakers.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people buy a lot of cheap shoes, and they don't realize in the long term what it's doing to their feet.
You end up spending more.
Yep.
They don't last. I've seen, I've made the mistake of buying cheaper shoes just because I needed them or whatever, or thinking they were going to last, and just the glue has come apart from the bottom of the sole. I was
for
like,
sure.
This is insane.
The Florida humidity, too, and the water.
The water,
Yeah.
it rains a lot, so if you're stepping on water puddles and whatnot, that does break apart the shoe. But for shoe quality, on shoes for me is big.
I'm going to be doing a podcast. I already did it at your office on shoes. And I think a lot of people don't realize they have to buy the right shoe for the area they live in, for one, right? So if you're in Florida and you're wearing a lot of suedes, it's going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
But also if they travel. A lot of people don't think about when they're purchasing shoes that if they start traveling or they may go to another place and there's, again, snow. So I had to buy new boots, 2 different styles when I go to Canada. But I also want to make sure I had a certain type of sole on it, a rubber like thicker and higher, I realized too, because even in certain boots or certain shoes, your feet get soaked, but also if you're in a major city, you could be sliding. I don't think a lot of people think that, unless you live in a colder climate, let's say. But a lot of Floridians, as you know, they just buy shoes for Florida.
Yeah, that's all they have.
Yeah, and then they go travel, and
they have to go buy a full set of everything.
Their feet are freezing. Yeah. They destroy their shoes. I mean, it's crazy. But back to the closet now. One
thing before you and
tell me,
touching on accessories, one thing I do not spend money on, and it's not right or wrong, is on belts.
Yeah, I think it's a con.
Yeah,
a little bit. And I know people that love the Gucci emblem.
I don't do none of the buckles.
Louis.
None of that. No, I don't care. I just put a belt that matches my shoes. That's more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's brown, what tone of brown? If it's black, well, black is black. I do match my shoes with my belt, and I'll use it until it breaks apart. Just get a new one. They're inexpensive. They can run you $12 to $30, and that's it. And how many times will a belt actually break? I mean, it could take you 5-6 years before it does.
When you buy a belt, usually, not always, I mean, you have the leather involved, but you're paying for the belt buckle. Let's call it for what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Belts are disposable.
I won't pay $400, $600 for a Gucci belt. It doesn't.
99% of the time, all you need is a black belt. So if you're out there if you have brown, you can have whatever you want. Gray, like a lot of people, white. For the most part, you're going to look like a jag-off a lot of times when you try matching funky belts. Now, I get it when guys golf. A lot of them like these funky belts with their shoes, the white belt.
The white, the greens, or whatever.
Yeah, you can dress any way you want. But if you're younger out there, don't get caught up in bullshitty patterns. Now, even Gucci, hypothetically, or all these crazy patterns.
They don't match. They just don't match.
Yeah, it also, it kind of brings attention to your midsection, and unless you're very fit.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because you may have a great shirt on, and then you look down and the belt's whack. And then even if they're too thin or they're too fat, sometimes they look, your waist doesn't always look as attractive as you think, especially when sitting down.
Or you spending that kind of money on a belt and you have a shirt that's not tucked in, untucked.
Yes.
Right, and it's covering your belt anyway. So
And if you're one of these people and you could do whatever you want, again, I see a lot of guys that tuck their shirt, like just tuck one tuck in so they can show off
the buckle.
The buckle. Yeah. Which I got a close friend that does that, and I laugh at his ass, but he likes it, and he matches his belt buckles with his backpacks a lot of times.
Well, that's another way of doing it.
It's a very interesting, and the belt buckle with the shoe.
One thing I won't do with the belts is those reversible belts. You get the brown on one side.
They're not bad.
Black. I only use them when I travel.
Yeah.
This way I carry less.
Right.
And it's usually on me, so I don't have to put it in the bag or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have to mix with brown or black, I use it. It's only for 3, 4, 5 days, that you're traveling and you're done. But if I'm using it consistently, then the belt starts folding in a certain way.
Yep.
And then when you want to turn it around and fold it the other way, you could tell.
Exactly.
And the way it folds where the, what do you call it, the pin or where it slides into the hole, that gets torn differently. So
yes.
I won't do that on a regular basis. I only use it for travel.
Back to a brown belt. Just my opinion. A lot of guys wear them with khakis. First of all, I'm anti-khaki. Just me. I think they look like shit. I'm wearing khaki shorts as I say this, of course. Khaki shorts, I think you can kind of get away with even cargo. But when guys are wearing khaki pants with a brown belt, to me, it screams middle-age something.
No sense of...
I don't know. It's corny. I feel like you just left the accountant's office. You had to go in on a Saturday to work or some shit. Again, if you're wearing even khakis, I still think a black belt, the way it tapers around, looks better.
I usually do black shoes, black belt with khakis if I use them.
Right.
Right. And jeans, you could get away with both.
Yeah.
And dress pants, if they're blue, I usually do brown.
See, you're getting crazy. With shoes, you're talking belt?
Brown shoes
Sure.
and belts with blue, navy pants.
Yeah.
If I do gray, I can go either way, black or brown.
Mm-hmm. This is just my opinion. The belt has got to flow from the shirt to the pants. People get caught up in thinking it's matching to the shoe. So when you look at a shirt, it better match the belt. And then that belt better match the pants. A lot of guys think they're savvy and will be like, hey, I got pink shoes on, or I got canary yellow shoes on. I'm going to put a yellow belt with black pants. That'll look cool. In my opinion, you look like a goof.
You look like a taxi.
Yeah, because I don't think... I talk about ensemble all the time. So if you're out there, again, back to the wardrobe, everything's got to work together. Don't think matching two pieces works and the rest is shit. I don't care that your belt buckle matches your backpack if your shirt and your pants don't match. That doesn't work. So when you think of wardrobe, I'm yelling, I'm ranting here. When you get back to these, I talk a lot about the young guys, back to us wanting you to buy more clothes and saving money on clothes, okay? Because what we want to do is really buy clothes, I believe, great clothes affordably. That's what I'm all about, saving money when buying shit, okay? I don't want knockoffs. I want authentic brands, but we want them cheaper. But we want to make sure everything in our closet kind of flows together. We don't want, again, like I was just saying, if you're broke, you only got 5 shirts, and they only work with, a few of your pants, or you only have certain shoes that go with outfits. We want to make sure that a majority of your shoes work with a majority of your pants. A majority of your shirts work with your pants. We need to make sure all these things flow. So when you're buying things... Right? It's kind of like if you go grocery shopping, you don't buy all these different types of foods that you can't put together. I mean, you can do that, but it's most likely you want everything to kind of flow together, if that makes sense. Right? All right, we got crazy there. Anything else with this?
No.
And I talk about this all the time. Robert buys a lot of new clothes, which I used to too. I don't even do that. A majority of my clothes I used to travel all over North America. I go to resale consignment stores or outlets or malls, but it has to be on sale hardcore.
Yeah, I would. The first place, any retail store I go to, the first place I go is the sales section in the back.
Yeah.
Usually it's in the back. And I look, and I'm patient, and if I can't find anything, I just don't buy out of impulse.
Yeah.
I think here in the U.S., we're all, trained to that because it says sale.
Yeah, 70% off everywhere you go.
Whatever it is that you, just because it's a sale, you need it. If you don't really need it, think about it. You know how many times I go with my wife and I handpick 2, 3, 4 pieces, right? And as I'm walking through the rest of the store, I'm looking and what I have in my hand, and I'm like, do I really need it?
Absolutely.
And I put it back, and I end up walking with nothing. She's like, you're not going to buy it? I'm like, no, I really don't need it. Because of my lifestyle, how I dress, and what I really, wear or not. The last thing I think I bought was 5 black V-neck T-shirts that I can match with jeans. Right?
Yeah, that's a great investment, though.
Yeah, I bought. They were on sale, so they were like $12 or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Right.
They were what? I don't remember the brand now. Anyway, and I can match with khakis, gray pants, blue pants, any pants. You've seen me in them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a uniform. So all I have to worry about is my pants.
Absolutely.
You know, there's days obviously like now I want a shirt.
And they go with anything.
And they go with anything.
Black and dark blue V-necks.
Yeah.
Crew, here's the thing too. I'm going to be putting up a video of I did Everyone Needs a V-neck, black and dark blue, I think. Goes with anything. It also goes under a sport coat. It also goes under a windbreaker. Also a V-neck sweater, if you can, black or blue. Again, goes with under a sport coat, suit, regular jacket, whatever. The difference between crew and V-neck is, I know what a V-neck just all of a sudden ups the style a little bit. Mm-hmm. You can really wear that now. It's a lot more accepted in even restaurants, where before you couldn't walk in with a T-shirt. But now the way society is, I think any V-neck will work. It's almost like
most of them do. Yeah.
It's like a turtleneck in the winter. Mm-hmm. It's almost a flip, where you can wear a turtleneck by itself. Again, sport coat, suit, any leather coat, whatever you want. It's accepted as kind of being dressy.
Mm-hmm.
Stylish. Where a lot of us get, and we love vintage tees, but with the crew neck, it changes the atmosphere very quickly just by that style shirt, I guess.
And the other thing to keep in mind is, for your wardrobe to last, is how you maintain it, how you wash it.
100%.
How you dry it. Read the labels, and don't mix and match all your clothing together.
Yep.
Separate.
Don't always throw it in the dryer.
Not always in the dryer.
Right.
Some you need to iron and fold. You know, how you fold. Some you hang. You know, not every tee you could hang or every shirt you could hang, because then you get those two lumps on the top of the shoulders. Sometimes you need to fold them.
Yeah, and if you do get those two lumps, here's a trick. Just wet your hand and pat them. It's a trick that I've used over the years when I was younger. I don't know if you've ever done that. But wet it.
What I've done is, on certain shirts, or not shirts, but any kind of tee or sweater, I turn it inside out and then hang it.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Right? So when I'm going to put it on, I just flip it over again, and then it does. I don't have that.
I got you. But if you ever put a shirt on, saying you're in a bad pinch and it's pinching up on you, you just wet your hand and you just kind of hold it there and pat it down like I'm doing, like you're patting yourself on the back.
Right.
Keep doing it, wetting it, and eventually it just lays out.
Lays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're softening up the threads and
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be careful. You're not. The thing is, it's got to be light water. You don't want to stain it because you don't know what's going to happen there. Hopefully, you got some pointers here. We're trying to tell you to save money.
Dress well.
Yeah, you know, I say save money on clothes so you can go out and spend money on other things you like, which could be more clothes. I'm just saying. But that doesn't mean spending too much money on clothes where, again, they're disposable. I'm just telling you, we may do another podcast on this, where look at your closet as inventory. If you owned a business and you went into your closet, what are you getting out of that? Like, what can you maybe get rid of? What would you like to throw away? You can maybe take it to a resale store, get some money, maybe sell it online.
Donate it.
Yeah, if you're not using your pieces, if you're looking at shirts and clothes, now there's different seasons, so pay attention to that. But if you have a shirt you haven't worn in a year or two, or shoes or accessories that you keep thinking you're going to wear, you're going to use, and you don't, get rid of it. I'm telling you right now, because there's other things you're probably interested in that maybe you can't afford, or you're just not into it. So most of the clothes I have, I give away. And I look at them, like I say, is kind of just, I don't mean to be disrespectful to clothes, but it's just it's not something that I feel, unless it's a certain piece, like I said, my father's Gucci, but clothes come in and out, colors come in and out, styles come in and out. And I'm not caught up in trends, but I just like new things. And as long as you don't spend a ton of money on the things you originally purchased, you can kind of let them go a little easier, if that makes sense. So, anything else? Gonna wrap it up there?
I would say don't overdo the accessories.
Yeah, I'm very limited on accessories. And I told him earlier, like, say a Rolex, because I've had a couple Rolexes and shit. I'd rather now, instead of, this is just me right now. If I was a millionaire, maybe I'd think differently. But say a Rolex, I paid for them. I'd rather get a Rolex now, say like my girlfriend got. She found a $5,000 Rolex, mint. I think it's almost brand new paperwork. It's authentic. They certified it and everything for $800. She found it in a resale store.
I would do that.
Huh?
I would do that.
Of course. Now that's what I'm talking about. So who's going to, if you don't have the money to buy it, but she already has a Rollie. So what's funny is she's buying another one because she knows that's a type of item where even if she doesn't keep it, she can flip it and probably even make another, I don't know how much, hundreds or 1,000. I don't know. But my point being is, again, if you spend, if you just spend your money properly on things regarding, again, fashion or whatever the hell you want to do, you have a lot more money maybe to do other things and buy things that you may have thought you couldn't buy before, if that makes sense too. So,
good one.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, my man. We're going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, you can find him on Instagram, right?
I am.
Facebook.
Robert Benenati.
Yeah, there he is. Yep. I'm all over the place. If you don't know who the hell I am, I don't even know how you ended up here. But I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And check us out. We do stuff on YouTube as well. So just my name, Rich Celenza. All right? Take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.